Testing. One, two, three.
We're live.
Cool. Okay, good. We're live. Hi, guys and girls. It's a thing in the U.S. in certain regions. We say guys as a slang, but it really means everybody. So hopefully I don't offend anyone. I'm Kaleen O'Connor, and I'm tuning in from the East Coast of the United States, the Tampa Bay region of Florida, where the sun's going to set soon, but right now it's really sunny and super hot. And I'm really glad you all are here tonight. This is a very special night where we're going to tune in. This to me is in the realm, especially before I knew about it, where you might not, if you're here as a guest tonight, you get the chance to possibly learn about something that you didn't even know existed. So you have those things that you know about. You have those things that you don't know about, but you know that they're there. And then you have the things that you don't even know that you didn't know. So this is a health science breakthrough that is huge. It is predicted to change the whole understanding of how we heal and age and keep endurance and energy literally on the planet forevermore. It's a massive paradigm shift, so to speak. So sometimes you might ask yourself, well, why haven't I heard of it? And who knows? It's new, and it's all about timing, and it's all about when it comes across your plate, right? So, but it is fairly new to the world in the sense of health and medical discoveries. So people tend to look at this health breakthrough because they themselves might have a cellular health challenge, or you might have someone else that you know that's going through something challenging with their body, or you might be athletic and love to exercise and want to increase your endurance and recovery, or just look better, from a beauty skin aspect, or feel younger and stronger as you age. Or also those of us, the world has changed quite a bit with our current scene, and it's good to have multiple streams of income or a plan B. And so if you've ever thought about having a home-based business, this also brings an incredible opportunity for that as well. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're about to jump into a phenomenal, informative, educational presentation with a world expert by the name of Stevie. He's coming all the way from Australia. And then after that, we will have a testimony directly from Dan Doyle, who himself is really a world authority on the product as well, but also just had an incredible, like many of us, direct product experience. Then I will come back at the end as your host and show you how you can take advantage of these resources. And then we will go into some live question and answer. So if you have questions, please write them down. We'll encourage you to put them in the chat box. And we'll usually be able to take at least 20 minutes and answer questions. Okay, so with that, I'd like to officially introduce Stevie Aquilina, live from Australia. Stevie, take it away.
G'day, can you hear me and see me good?
Loud and clear.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks so much for having me here. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all especially well and secure and safe and happy in these, especially strange times. And I know that USA is going through some very upsetting and additional upheavals at the moment. And, I'm very sorry to see that, but I hope you're all secure and doing well in these times. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let me just do so. And Kaleen, can you just give me a thumbs up that you can see my screen? Okay, perfect. All right. So let me jump straight into this, folks. What we'll be sharing with you this morning or this evening, wherever you're tuning in from the world, is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime, a category creating breakthrough, not unlike the magnitude of the discovery of DNA or penicillin, an exciting and entirely new frontier in science, unlike anything you've probably ever seen before, that for 2 decades, science had actually declared was impossible. This is a breakthrough with enormous potential, validated by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory studies. A very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time, but drug companies wanted it shut down. Now, before I tell you what this is, let me tell you very quickly what this is not. It's not a drug, thank goodness. It's also not a vitamin, mineral, or antioxidant formula. It's not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, essential oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, laser lights, roots, magical 5,000-year-old tree, lotions, potions, gadgets, already of the other really cool stuff out there. What I want to be crystal clear about is that what you're about to learn about goes beyond nutrition, goes beyond mere ingredients. This is literally a breakthrough, a groundbreaking category-creating breakthrough in science. All right, so what we'll be talking about is ASEA redox cell signaling technology. Now, it contains active redox molecules. These are the exact same molecules, cellular messages that are made natively within your body that affect gene expression in a positive way, helping to protect healthy cells, repair unhealthy cells, replace damaged cells, activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection, and keep cells functioning at optimal levels. And why is that important? Well, we are all made of cells. We live and die at the cellular levels. Healthy cells, healthy life. However, with age, diet, stress, toxins, and other environmental insults, our cells break down, and our body's ability to make and use redox signaling molecules declines daily. And as such, our cells break down even more. And with it, what also breaks down is our health, wellness, and vitality. Now, ASEA is highly committed, takes science very seriously, committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, proving the potential of redox signaling supplementation, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. Now, ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translate to health at its most foundational level. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. Additionally, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Lower oxidative stress, which is the precursor to just about every degenerative condition on the planet, and again, has also proven to be 100% safe because these molecules are already in us. They're already in you. You just can't make enough of them anymore. So they're native. They're even more natural than natural. They're native to your body. Now, any health challenge and or any health goal, it's not just for the health challenge, as Kaleen pointed out at the start of this presentation. Whatever goal of health that you can think of, redox users and their doctors, they're just seeing remarkable results. So let's show you some of those results. It's a little bit hard to show you from the inside out when we're talking about our drink version of redox signaling molecules, but with our topical versions of redox molecules, we can show you the proof. We have Renew 28 and our Renew Advanced Intensive Redox Serum. These two tubes on the right-hand side of the picture are redox signaling molecules that we can apply to our skin, that we can apply topically on our body. There's also a cleanser and a moisturizer for those that want to turn this into a full skin regime, but the proof is in the pudding. So as you look at your pictures here, what you will see is more than anti-aging effects, really age reversing effects. We're seeing wrinkles and lines being ironed out. We're seeing elasticity coming back to the skin. And it's not just beauty, also health. We're seeing inflammations and irritations and aggravations and other signs of poor health to the skin, returning. Even the aftermath of these issues are also being brought back to blueprint of the body. So even the scarring is also being brought back to proper surface. Now, some people notice results quite quickly, and others might take some time to notice their results. It does differ from person to person, the time it takes to notice the change. But what we do know is that these breakthrough technologies do help everyone. It would be scientifically impossible for these molecules to not work in you. But what's very important is that you take photos so that you see how it goes. Make sure you record everything about your health so that you can score and see how you go. This is Rosie, and it was lucky her doctor took photos for her because she believed that the products were not working. She believed that she might have wasted a little bit of money. But as you can see, over several weeks and even over a couple of years, dramatic benefits. And this is Dr. Marty Moran. He decided to do a scientific experiment on his very own face and use Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you see which side he did versus which side he did not use the Renew 28 on? Type it in the chat box for me and let me know what side you think he used the Renew 28 on. I'll give you some hints. I'll give you some clues as you type in there where you think he put the Renew 28 on. Check out the glasses that are kind of leaning to one side. Check out around the jawline, some of the lines around the eyes and the jawline, lines around the nose and the mouth versus one side to the other. So if you're typing in there that he used it on the left side or his right side, you'd be correct. And also, I've confirmed this with Dr. Marty Moran. That was definitely the side of the bed that his wife preferred to sleep on because she digged the younger dude on that side as opposed to the other side. Now, Renew 28 is not just for your face. Arms, hands, bellies, legs. In fact, cellulite, usually around the buttocks and the legs, can be a trouble area for cellulite sufferers. And there was a study done on Renew 28 that proved that the Renew 28 gel was actually able to not just reduce the cellulite, not just reduce the appearance of cellulite, but when ultrasounds were taken, it was shown to actually be dissolving the subcutaneous fat, dissolving the fat that was causing the cellulite. And, it's not just for the skin, the Renew 28. People have joint and muscle discomforts, and people have issues on the inside that are troublesome as well, are also affected in a positive way from the outside in by using the Renew 28. This is my good friend Sepp Hock, and he had a condition that he should have only been able to get one consultation with a doctor from, because according to the doctor, those types of patients aren't around to make it to his second consultation. And thankfully, using lots of the REDOX molecules from the outside in and the inside out too, Sepp made it to several consultations and now doesn't need those consultations anymore. He's all good. All right, it is a historical fact that with every great breakthrough comes a great opportunity. And ASEA is based in a very, very big breakthrough, a breakthrough so significant that it's based in Nobel Prize winning research. If you were to go along to pubmed.gov, which is the National Library of Medicine, you would find that if you typed in redox signaling, there are over 32,000 results. So this is where all peer-reviewed studies are posted. There are over 1,500 medical textbooks that have been written on redox signaling molecules. It's a very difficult slide for me to keep up with because there's about 150 studies or more coming out almost every single month. Now, ASEA is heavily patented. What does that mean? That means that we are the only ones in the world that have redox signaling molecules. That means we're without copycats, and that also means that we are without competition. So ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors, whether it be healthcare and or wellness, whether it be athletic performance or sports science, or whether it be beauty, anti-aging, skincare, or longevity. Massive opportunities across all of these multi-trillion-dollar health industries. Now, our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. we want to help a lot of people, and we can't do that on our own. So we look for people to help spread the word. And ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn commissions just by sharing REDOX with others. You receive a residual income, not only from the ongoing purchases made by everyone you refer to as ASEA, but also from the residual, the ongoing purchases made by every single person they and others also refer. So just like when you recommend a good movie, cafe, book, restaurant, or whatever, people tell people who tell other people, who then begin to tell even more people, and so on it goes. There are no limits. These types of word of mouth recommendations spread worldwide through social media, especially, all the time. And ASEA is currently open in 35 countries. And we're opening up new markets almost every single year. And based on the existing trends, the past and current performance of the company, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million over the next 5 years. Now, some are saying this is conservative, and the company is certainly capable of doing a lot more. There are a lot of people who believe this will be $1 billion company in the not too distant future. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means perhaps maybe now more than ever, for people that are looking for a replacement or a supplementary income or an extra income, or a part-time or a full-time, or I just want more time, or a big time, or maybe even as a legacy leaving income. For sharp people, for good-minded people, good-hearted people, for business-minded people, this is a very significant opportunity to be paid a residual commission from the very significant growth of this global expansion. And the best part of the compensation plan, if you want to go and learn that, here's my 2 bobs worth. There's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives, and is exactly what these technologies do. Now, you also get to join forces with others who are also being a force for good in the world. And you can even be rewarded to spend time with them on all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations around the world, as some of the pictures are here of my wife and I, and some of the great people that we've got to meet, like Kaleen. I already knew Dan, but it's good to go and hang out with him in these locations. And we get to have a really great time, and you become really great friends. You get really great training and experiences together, and you really become like family, to be honest. Now, what we're also extremely fond of is our charitable foundation, the ASEA Advancing Life Foundation. Our mission here is to break cycles of poverty, break cycles of abuse and suffering. And just some of the projects that we have worked on in a short period of time is fighting human trafficking internationally, providing clean water in Cambodia, building a vocational center in rural Ecuador, and supporting disaster relief funds around the world. Let me finish with this, how the company started, because a big question is, well, why haven't I heard of this before? A big question when you do hear about this is, well, why doesn't my doctor know about this? Why is this not coming out in some sort of mainstream medical healthcare channel? And the reason is the redox signaling molecules in ASEA are so impactful on the human condition that pharmaceutical companies offered to pay millions of dollars for the sole rights to the technology. However, they wanted ASEA to shut down. They wanted to take everyone off the redox. Thankfully, though, founder of ASEA, Virtus Norden, said no to the payout and yes to the people already experiencing the greatly needed life-changing power of these redox signaling molecules, and has demonstrated in this very first decision and in every other since, not only by Virtus and also by his son, Tyler Norden, who has taken over the company, and not only by all of the corporate team, but everyone who is a part of ASEA. You can tell in every single decision, ASEA always and will always put people and principles before ego and economics, again, as demonstrated in this very first and important decision. So I want to thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this message this evening. I would encourage you to get back to the person that introduced you here. Let them know you were here. Don't worry about what the time is. They'll be happy to hear from you. And if you have questions, get them answered, and we're going to allow you to do that very, very soon. But first, let me hand you back to Kaleen. And also, Kaleen, thank you very much for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stevie. That was awesome. So next we're going to hear from Dan Doyle. He also is directly from Australia, but currently living in the United States with us, working on some projects. And he is himself a world authority in not only this health breakthrough, but also just in business in general, being a very successful entrepreneur. Danny, over to you. It looks like you've got your screen up.
Thank you, Kaleen. Thank you so much. Welcome everybody to the call, and thank you, Stevie, for that presentation. I'm sure that you understand, if you're new to hearing about this, the absolute enormity with what we got our hands on. And if you have been involved with us here for a while, obviously you've received this incredible gift from somebody that knows you and loves you, adores you and cherishes you, because it would be what I consider the most precious gift that you could ever receive. And for those who are new on this call, somebody has obviously offered you that same gift and opportunity to hear about this incredible breakthrough, and maybe possibly something that it can do for you, your family, your friends, your loved ones. And, you know, I think Stevie said that we are here just to pass on information. We're not here to convince you or sell you anything, but we're here to pass on information for you guys to make a decision what you want to do with this. So I'll just reiterate our disclaimer before I go into my story, that these products, the ASEA REDOX cell signaling supplement, the Renew 28, the serum with the REDOX, are intended to treat, diagnose, cure or prevent any disease or medical condition. So I grew up in Sydney, Australia. I'm based in this crazy place called Los Angeles at the moment, and I'm sure that everyone's got their own challenges, whether it be the pandemic in the countries that you're in, or the pandemic and what's going on here with everything else in the United States. So hopefully everybody's keeping safe and well. Yeah, so my journey started in Sydney, in Australia, and I'm going to take you through my younger days where I used to be involved in a lot of sports. I used to sort of excel, conquer, and then move on to another sport, playing rugby league in Australia and going to judo, gymnastics, surfing, and aerobics, and this little thing called bodybuilding. And ladies, don't get too excited. I don't look like this anymore. So this was me at 24 years old when I did own a gym. I was in the health and fitness industry, and this was my whole life. I used to eat, sleep, and breathe bodybuilding, and also training other people. And then I had my business, which was in the exact same industry. Fast forward 20 years to 44 years old, and I wasn't a bodybuilder, but I used to keep fit and healthy still. And I'm pretty well in the same condition as I am in this photo, if not better. I still train every morning. I look after myself, don't do heavy weights, do more cardiovascular, and eat very, very well. And then you're going to find out, obviously, from my story, what the REDOX technology did for me. So thank goodness that I was in this condition, because 6 months later, I found a little lump underneath my left rib, and all of a sudden forced into 2.5 years of hospital visits. So this is a picture of me on the right-hand side with no hair from the top of my head to my toes. Looked more like Stevie's brother back then. Big concern, worrying about losing my hair as I got older, which I'm not concerned about now because I'm not a bad-looking dude. But this was a terrible time. What I went through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. There was a time that I didn't want to go on anymore from what they were putting me through. So it was a long 2.5 years. This is a friend of mine, Johnny Manor, who played the highest level of rugby league in Australia. He'd been through those hospital visits that I started in this photo. Unfortunately, he relapsed after this photo, and his came back, and he had the good one, and I had two of the bad ones. And unfortunately, we lost him at the age of 23 years old. Very, very sad time. At the end of that 2.5 years of what I was going through in and out of that hospital, they told me to get my affairs in order. I wasn't too happy with that. As a matter of fact, I called my specialist a few choice words, and I knew at that point I needed to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. Did some research. Research led to an alkaline diet. Spent a lot of money on nutritional products super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water, from a lot of amazing companies around the world with good products. But unfortunately, everything that I did wasn't working whatsoever. There was a missing piece of the puzzle. So fast forward 2 years on that pristine, clean, alkaline diet and all those products, and this is what I look like. And this is in October 2014. Long story short, Bart Cotter called me, a good friend of mine, and said, I think I found something that can help. So I flew to Salt Lake City, took a friend of mine, Mal Sword, dealing with a serious skin issue for over 40 years, spent over $100,000 trying to get on top of this skin issue. And we met in the headquarters of this company called ASEA. And as Stevie went through, it's a cellular health company. And they had this REDOX technology, which I couldn't understand when Dr. Gary Samuelson was going through this breakthrough, exactly what he was talking about. Apart from these blue bottles of REDOX were sitting on the table, and he said they were 100% non-toxic and they could have health benefits. And the other great thing was they were for free. The company was giving it to us. So Mal and I were gorging it down. And around about 3 hours later, the presentation finished. We went through about half a bottle each. We went back to the hotel room to freshen up, to have a shower, get ready, and go and meet the executives of the company, the founders of the company, Dr. Gary Samuelson. And I took off my shirt. And what surprised me was, and I didn't realize on the day, but when I put 2 and 2 together, I was going through a major detox. I had little red spots all over my torso, and couldn't wait till I went to the bathroom, coming out so quick. What was expelling from my body was coming out of my skin. The next morning I woke up and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to test this stuff that I was drinking the day before. And I still love my coffee. I don't drink it anymore, but back then I had a caffeine intolerance. For 20 years I had this caffeine intolerance. Any more than 2 coffees, I'm buckled over all day in discomfort. The next morning I decided to have 6 coffees, had the 6 coffees, went through the whole day. There was nothing to endure. That reminded me of what I endured for a whole 20 years. That issue had gone away. The next day I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital, I was having trouble breathing and talking at the same time. The next day my lungs were functioning perfect. So I had 3 big wins in 2 to 3 days. Went back to Australia, kept drinking this stuff in the blue bottle, still not 100% understanding what it was. But I had improvements. I had improvements over the next 8 months. Just little wins. My blood works were getting better. Halfway through 2015, 8 months after I started on the product, because I started sharing ASEA with a few people, thank you checks started coming in. I invested that back into my own health. I started taking more product, which I needed to do from the health challenge that I had. And then December came along. It was a time where I had my 3 monthly checkup. So we're talking about 14 months now after this photo. So this is in December now, 2015. And this is the day the doctors told me there was no sign of those 2 major issues or health challenges that I had. So that was part of my journey back to health. The other things that I was going through, experienced, was my body was debilitating with the amount of injuries that I had and the discomfort I had through my whole body, turning into another major issue because of all the injuries I had when I played sports. By this photo, 14 months on the product, I didn't have any of those problems, including pollen problems where I used to sneeze and my nose used to run all day. My whole body was rebuilt in 14 months from top to bottom. So that was my whole journey back to health. And since then, we're talking about December 2015, we're going on nearly 5 years. And there's people back in Australia that used to look after me with my health are just scratching their heads wondering what's going on. But if you fast forward 2 years again, you can see the anti-aging side that Stevie's talking about. And even now, 2 years after this photo again, just go back to Celebrity Squares, guys. Bring you all back in. So that was my story and my journey back to health. And fortunately along the way, we came from being very successful traditional business people. And unfortunately, when I lost my health, we lost everything financially through that 2.5 years. So by the time we found the ASEA and my health started being returned, we were already in a van and almost went to the Salvation Army for food stamps. And it was pretty hard times, when you haven't got your health and you've got no money. But thank goodness, we've got this vehicle called ASEA, which can help take somebody, potentially back to their health or to where they want to go financially. So we've got something, well, as far as I'm concerned, a solution for anybody that's looking for something, because everybody's either looking for health or for something financially that can help them. I don't think there would be a more compelling opportunity that anybody would ever come across from my experience in traditional business, from the knowledge now I have in the network marketing industry, because of this breakthrough, because of our comp plan, our leadership, the ethos of the company. We've got the whole package, and you guys are in a very fortunate position for either being involved or for being exposed to what we have here today, something that can help you and your family in so many ways. So I'm going to hand back to Kaleen, and we'll do a bit of a Q&A soon. And at the top of the hour, we do have an incredible training call with Christina Williams coming on from Australia. So thanks, Kaleen. Thanks, Stevie, for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Danny, for that heartfelt story. It's amazing and just shows what's possible. So we're going to wrap up. I'm going to do a quick screen share as well, just to show you all how, oh, that's good. It just disappeared to make it fun. Okay, I was going to say how you can actually take advantage of the product. So hold on one second. There we go. No, sorry, guys. Bear with me. Okay. For some reason. So while that's coming back up again, or if it doesn't come up, I'm just going to tell you, exactly, visuals are good, but okay, good. There we go. Sorry about that. I had it all queued up and then it went away. Okay, so the main thing here, I'm going to move you all to the side, is, we've got various products that are all under the umbrella of cellular health. And so whoever invited you here today, I want you to know, just like you, at the time when I first found out about this product, I went to a live presentation because we could do those things. Now we're doing it online, and learned about it and decided to try it. So definitely get back to the person that shared it with you. And there are different ways that you can be a part of ASEA. And one of them, obviously, is just to be a consumer. You may just want to work out a product plan that's right for you based on your health goals, with the drink, the topical gel, the skincare, or even the whole food nutrition that we have. Okay, you may decide that you'd like to take advantage of the business opportunity as well, even on the level of just getting your product paid for, or actually replacing part-time income or full-time income, or some of us even like the benefit of being able to change our whole lifestyle and really make a difference and participate in our favorite charities and things like that, right? Okay, the one thing I want you to think about from a consumer viewpoint is to set the correct expectations. And so particularly on the drink, we don't just share it by the bottle or say, okay, just try it for a week or a month. We encourage you to do at least a 90-day plan. I always say go for 3 to 6 months, because particularly if you have a health challenge, you didn't get there right away. The body got out of balance over time. And so this graph just shows you that within 1 week or a month, less people perceive a change, even though it could be already happening. The point is, can you feel it? But when you get to that 3 months, you can see it's much closer to 100% in terms of you being able to perceive a difference, right? Okay. And then the other thing to just be aware of is that when you're ordering your product, you can take advantage of wholesale pricing or you can pay full price. And the person that invited you can go over those different accounts with you. The benefit of wholesale, we all like to save money, is that you do save 20% off on your full price or your retail pricing. You also, as a customer, can get product and open up an account at no additional cost. If you choose to open up an associate account, or what we call a distributor account, where you also then have the opportunity to share the business with others, then there is a $40 fee in US dollars, and it would be the equivalent in whatever your currency is for your country. And then there is no monthly fee after that. There's just an annual fee of $25, again, the US dollars being your reference point. The other thing that I think is amazing about the company is that it does guarantee you're a full money back guarantee within your first 30 days on your first order minus the shipping cost, even if you've consumed some of the product, but you just decide it's not for you. So that's a really low risk in terms of getting started on the product. It's safe, it's non-toxic. You can get a full money back guarantee in your first 30 days, okay? This is just a graphic. It is showing packages that you can order in the United States. When you open up an associate or distributor account, you can also purchase product in bulk to save money, especially if multiple family members are going to be on it, or you'd like to have some extra product to show people because you would like to share it. So again, the person that invited you can go over that with you, and you can custom design your first order as an associate account. You don't have to do one of those fixed packages, okay? And then we do recommend when you're ordering wholesale that you set yourself up on a very user-friendly auto ship, because you save money and you get to participate in a program where you can earn back free product, and it just brings that cost down even more than the wholesale pricing. So that's what this slide references. I'm just going to end this part of our live presentation with a quote from Vertus Norman. He says, "We are all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world." Now, I think more than ever right now with what we're going through, we all need to go into our hearts and, you know, look at how you can change your corner of the world, even if it's just with yourself, in investing in your own health and energy and vitality, or with your friends and family, or in your community, country level, et cetera, et cetera. We can all be positive lights in the world. And this just shows you a bit more about our company culture. So wherever you're at today, definitely get back to the person that invited you. They may or may not have joined the call with you. People are busy, and some of you, you know, just have generic iPhone and things like that, so we may not know who you are. But let the person know and thank them that they thought enough to invite you to learn about this health breakthrough. And you can get further questions answered from them. But in the meantime, we're going to go right into live Q&A right now. And so I'm going to bring Danny and Stevie back in. And I know we've got one question in specific that is from a cell phone, Galaxy. So I don't know who you are, but it says, "Dissolves fat, are you sure?" So Stevie or Danny, would you like to respond to that? That's obviously when we were looking at pictures of the Renew 28, talking about cellulite going away and all kinds of cool stuff. Is it real? Does it really happen?
Yeah, I mean, we don't promote it as a weight loss product, but what REDOX do in the body, it converts stored fat around organs into energy. So when you consume the product, it takes if you were to go into a gym and sit on a bike or be on a stepper or a treadmill or something, it takes about 20 minutes for your cardiovascular system to cut in. Well, on the ASEA, if you replenish your body with REDOX, even without doing exercise, you're actually doing that in about 3 minutes. So people do automatically, some people do automatically lose weight, something that we're not thinking of, we don't promote, but it could happen.
Awesome. And Stevie, there's a question for you in reference to the chart that you put up showing the income that's possible, the average monthly income. Was that in US dollars or was that in another currency?
Yeah, that was a really good question. And it actually prompted me to do up this really quickly. The figures that I showed were in Australian dollars, but I've just done up one really quickly, and you can see there US and Australian figures.
And can I have a copy of that? That's great.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, send it over to us. We love that.
Yeah, sure. Cool. And yeah, just to back up that last question too about that Dan just answered, you know, if you're unsure, go and see the evidence, go and see the proof. I mean, the best scientific experiment is the one you can do on yourself. But all of the studies are done in literally, you know, well-known, well-established, renowned universities and top leading laboratories. So we're not saying, you know, what this has or hasn't done. We're letting the science, the third-party scientific validation speak for itself. So you can go along to aseascience.com, ASEA science.com. And thank you, Kaleen. She just popped it in the chat box there. And don't let the name of the website throw you. ASEA doesn't do its own science. Again, it is validated third party with some very real scientific organizations. And yes, it's true, a very large scientific organization by the name of Dermatest They're located in Europe, but they're world renowned. One of the studies they did was to try and see why so many people were reporting that they were having less cellulite appear on their body. And when they did the ultrasounds, they found that the subcutaneous fat pushing up against the skin and causing that dimply effect was in fact dissolving. Go and check the study out.
Thanks, Stevie. Any other questions? You can certainly unmute yourself and ask directly, or if you're more comfortable, you can put it in the chat box. We've got a few more minutes for questions. So you guys did such a great presentation that everybody feels well informed, it looks like.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I have a quick question. Everybody, I've heard numerous times that it helps produce 500 to 800% increase in glutathione. Is that a long-lasting effect? Is that a minute effect? I mean, is that a flash effect? Does it upregulate the genes that help with the glutathione, like NRF2, NRF2?
Yep, that's a great question. So typically what we see in the studies that, for those who, whilst they're using the ASEA, we're seeing that those effects, during their use. And then what we've seen in studies of people, because we've got some very interesting studies where we've monitored people obviously before using the product and then during, and then after 8 weeks being off the product. And what we generally find is that their body will come back down to baseline, so back to how it was performing before they were using the product. And one of the ones that makes the antioxidant study so interesting is if you actually looked up the medical health journal on antioxidants, it's actually called antioxidants and redox signaling, because redox signaling molecules, a part of their job is to be antioxidant activators. Which is why it's only natural that we're seeing, such a huge elevation in the production and efficiency of antioxidants from people who are taking ASEA. But so to answer your question, of course, while ever taking the product, you're going to see that type of, higher activation because you have higher amounts of redox molecules in your body.
And just for the record too, the studies, and we keep it conservative, we say over 500%. The studies were done on double the maintenance amount, just for the record as well. So
they were done what?
On double the maintenance amount, double the recommended amount on the bottom.
Oh, okay. So in other words, 4 ounces twice a day.
Correct, Jeff. Yeah, that's correct.
Or
okay,
60 milliliters if you're not in the U.S.
You can take 4 times the maintenance amount like I do and increase it again.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's fantastic. So that'll help with the reoxygen, the ROS, reactive oxygen species. And then is that the same for catalase and sodium oxide dismutase as well?
Oh, good question. Yeah, the two antioxidants that they identified in that study was glutathione, as you mentioned before, which is why Dan possibly had the type of positive reaction he did, because it sounds like you're already aware glutathione is the body's probably master detoxifier. But yes, the other antioxidant that they identified in that study was SOD, superoxide dismutase.
Okay, great. So now, can I say that legally when I talk to people about this? I mean, is that approved in the literature?
It is. It's a part of the study and it's a part of the company's broadcast as well.
And
okay,
again,
great.
Jeff, if you want to look at the language on how it's communicated, you can go to ASEAScience.com. You can also go to ASEAGlobal.com and look at the science tab and just, see how all of that's being communicated. And that'll give you your exact verbiage, and what you can say. We have a few more minutes for questions. Anybody else? Or Stevie, did you want to say something?
Well, for those that might not be so sciencey, like because I'm a knucklehead, so I like to try and, give a knucklehead version for anyone else that might be too, which I'm sure is not anybody on this call. But you know, that is so significant, the you know, how it's able to enhance the efficiency of antioxidants. Antioxidants neutralize free radicals, which cause oxidative stress. And oxidative stress, here's the point, oxidative stress is probably the precursor to just about every degenerative condition on the planet. So you know, and we also have studies in Appalachian State University showing that oxidative stress was significantly reduced by taking ASEA. Now that had doctors doing very joyous backflips out of their seat when they saw those findings. It's very, very significant.
Right. Okay, great. I cut out on you for a second there, so I don't know if you can hear me now, but great. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Great questions, Jeff.
Any other questions, folks?
I'm going to mute.
You're just cutting out, Jeff.
I think he said he was muting himself.
He needs a stronger signal, more signaling molecules required there.
That's right.
This is a great example, great analogy, Steve. You talk about that one. Perfect.
Yeah, well, the cell phone that you have, if it has full bars of signal, then it's possible for you to call the emergency services, you know, and if your phone doesn't have full bars of signal, then it can be very difficult to get through, just like, you know, we experienced Jeff breaking out of the call just then. And so in the body, it's the same way. When you have lots of redox signaling molecules, the call from the cells to the immune system is very loud. The call for help, it's very loud, it's very clear. But when you have low levels of redox signaling molecules and the cells need to call for help, you know, the call can be very quiet. It can be very hard to hear. And so just as when your cell phone has full signal, you have clear communication and you can call in emergency services very clearly and very effectively. When your body has lots of redox signaling molecules, the communication in your body is clear as well. And then so far is how it operates from that communication.
For those just coming onto the call, we're just wrapping up a Q&A from a Discover ASEA we held earlier. And in 9 minutes time, we're going to have the global team expansion call with a special guest, Christina Williams. So a few more minutes for Q&A here, guys. Anything you want to know, even with the guys coming on, if you want to know anything at all, just don't hesitate to shout out.
Hi, Dan. This is Vivek from India. I hope you're doing good.
How are you? Yeah, great to see you on here.
Great. It's too early here, and I just wanted to ask a few tips because you guys are quite experienced, and I'm going to start in India, a country where ASEA is not there till now, and if you would like to give me some tips, and you know, it's maybe this week I'm going to get the products the first time in India for me, and if you can give me some tips how to go about, it'll be amazing.
That's all right. No, I think even in general, Vivek, so this Vivek's a doctor, by the way, over in India, but he knows the power of redox and what it can do for people. And obviously there's a lot of you on this call tonight that would like to get ASEA to your family and friends in markets that aren't open. I mean, all we can do with that is be as creative as possible to do that. The only thing the company asks is not to hold any in-country meetings or trainings. So the most difficult thing when we're trying to be creative to get product to markets that aren't open is finding a logistics or shipping company, finding a way to get it in. So, you know, as far as, you know, Vivek's situation in India, he has got a lot of patience. There's a lot of people he wants to help, a lot of people he wants to share this with. And we're just doing the best we can to find, you know, a logistics company, a shipping company to be able to achieve that. So if anybody wants to get product to a market that we're not trading in, and you want to help people, just reach out to your upline to do that. But Vivek, we'll have a chat about that, because I know you're ready to go.
Thank you.
So we probably have time for one more quick question, and then we need to turn the platform over to our team training that's about to start.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, June.
Hi. I have a downline of mine that lives in St. Martin, and obviously they're having difficulty with getting the drink over to them because they have to ship it to Miami, then to ship it to them. So I was saying to them today that they could use the gel, because there's so many of their people that are requesting it right now. And because we cannot get it, we're trying to get them to use the gel. So could you just enlighten us as to whether the gel would work just as good as the drink? Dan Doyle may be able to answer that question to me.
Yeah, firstly, I mean, obviously we started just with the Renew 28 in Australia, and you know, we were pioneers with that product, and you know, basically built our businesses on wrinkles, but then found out as time went on that you could use it for different applications, and you know, I was helping people in so many different ways. It's a good way to start, obviously, moving product into a market that's not open by using the gel. So same thing, just reach out to your upline, and I mean, it's just like saturating your body from the inside out with the ASEA. You'd want to be doing the same, and saturating it from the outside in with the Renew 28. This is something that I do anyway, more so for maintenance and helping keep it up, you know, everything running at optimal levels. So if I could bath in this stuff, I would. So yeah, just, I mean, just be conscious. I mean, don't put it in your eyes, but you know, rub it all over the body. We've had people in you know, situations where they haven't been able to consume the ASEA as well. So anything that you can apply from the outside, you know, the 3 times in 5 minutes is the best way to do it, regardless of where you're applying it to, or how much you're doing it, or even if it's on the whole, over the whole body.